everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Sun, where we're always working towards something greater. So today I'm doing an update video because I've just been thinking about it, that it's been a long time since I've given any kind of update about my Draconic Witchcraft path and what's going on with that currently, because there really hasn't been any update about what I'm doing, if I'm doing, all that kind of good stuff. So I just figured I would give an update about what's actually happening with that, because it just kind of dropped off the face of the earth with what I'm doing with that. So honestly, I mentioned in some of my other videos that I wasn't really too sure about going forward with it, that I had a little bit, very slightly, dipped my toe into it and worked with them very slightly. Now, to be honest, nothing really happened scarily, nothing really happened bad to discourage me from using the Draconic Witchcraft. It's just, I personally decided not to work with it because I'm not saying that I won't ever again go back to it. I still feel in a way like that dragon was supportive and everything, but it's just, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I've always kind of been into darker things, it seems like, with you know, things in the past. I like skulls, I like darker things sometimes more gothic type of things. I have a lot of eclectic styles that I really like and enjoy, dragons being one of them. But I guess that with my background of me coming from a kind of Christian background, like, it's not like I was heavily into Christianity or anything. It wasn't forced upon me through my childhood and my upbringing or anything really like of that sort. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just this culture that we're brought up in here in these United States region, that we're kind of, our religions of the major things of Christianity and being Catholic and things like that, the Bible kind of depicts dragons, it seems to be kind of an evil thing. And so I guess that's why I have a bit of skepticism with it. It's not necessarily that I think that they're really bad. I've researched things about it, that there could be good and there could be bad. But it's just a lot of the time when dragons are depicted, they're depicted kind of evil and bad and being slayed because they were bad and eating people and terrorizing places. You know, there's so many stories and legends about dragons and them just basically really being terrible, basically spawns of the devil. That's why I stopped. That's why I didn't really continue to get very far into it, was because, like I said, I was a little skeptical about what kind of energy I was inviting, and definitely didn't want to invite anything negative, as you know, especially that I'm still kind of new into this whole journey and path. I do feel like I'm, getting stronger and more confident with my own spells and things like that, my own magic, but by no means am I like a super tenured witch that knows exactly what I'm doing. And, I'm not entirely comfortable that if something negative was invited into my life that I'd know how to banish and get rid of it entirely. So, I don't want it to turn into like an exorcism of Emily Rose kind of thing, where I have to invite somebody over from the Catholic Church to freaking, exorcise myself in my house because I've invited demon energies. Like, I don't know that it's going to get that dramatic. I'm probably over dramatizing it, but that's the thing. You don't know sometimes what you're inviting into your life. And if you feel any sense of not being sure about it, it's probably better to be safe than sorry about it. Honestly, guys, I don't really know that it really truly is a negative evil entity. In some ways, I believe that they are good, and they can be good, but like I said, they're often depicted as being kind of like serpents, and serpents are usually not good, kind things. And so there's just been some back and forth in my own head about it, of what do I really believe and what do I really value about it. And maybe someday I'll be ready to take it on and feel comfortable with it, that, it is a good energy to work with, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know right now, for sure, that I just think it would just be better for me to stick out of it. Um, One of the things of my story time video was that I talked about how this dragon had, like, basically, I felt like, directly reached out to me by after the time that I was thinking about all these things and connecting the dots of why I think this dragon wanted to reach out to me and work with me, was having the smoke detector go off right after I was thinking about that. Like, no other time had this battery been beeping. It just randomly, like, the battery in that instant drained and started beeping, and I took it as a sign of a dragon because dragons fire smoke. And so I was like, you know what? In a way, like, that could be a good thing, but at the same time, I feel like something evil is more likely to reach out to you than something good. Because, you know, evil wants chaos, evil wants bad things, you know, and I'm not dissing on anybody that wants to do draconic stuff. It's just me personally, it's how I feel about any deity in my work right now. You know, like, I don't really trust any other deities in my work and with me right now. Maybe I will someday, but right now I just don't feel good about it. You know, to some extent I feel bad for kind of abandoning the dragon, you know, and I think it knows that if I wasn't so worried about it, it knows that I do still, you know, care, and I wish that I could feel more comfortable to work with it. It's just one of those things where you're skeptical of, like, a new friend sometimes that you meet where something just seems a little off and you're not really sure if you can trust them or not. Just certain people, certain energies, certain things you might have heard, certain rumors, you know, just things of stuff like that where you don't know really what to believe in it. And that's where I am right now. That's why I haven't really gotten into it anymore. I might further into the future. But something with me is that I really kind of think that maybe in one of my past lives I was of an Asian descent. I haven't really, you know, looked into past life stuff. I haven't tried to do any of the meditative exercises because I don't really know that I want to know that kind of stuff of, you know, who I was in a past life, what my past life was like, any of that stuff. I feel like maybe it's better to not know. So I don't know, guys. The thing that I'm going with that is that maybe that's why dragons are important to me, and maybe that's why tigers are important to me, is because dragons and tigers are seemingly something that's very connected with, you know, Asian kind of culture and spirituality. And in their culture, they see dragons as being good things. They see them as being protectors. They see them as, you know, just powerful things for good. And maybe that's why I feel drawn to it, but I'm also skeptical because of this life's upbringing. Well, that's just me. That's just how I'm feeling about it. I kind of still think there is value, but I don't know. It's hard for me to decide. It's still something that is going to take me some more time if I'm going to get back into it, and truthfulness. Still just working on myself and my own power right now. This is where I'm at with it. I can't really give you any update about if any spells worked any better with its assistance. I don't know. You know, maybe it's still helping me, even though I haven't really acknowledged it hardly in a long time. And it knows that I genuinely feel bad about that because I want to. It's just I'm afraid to. And that's the thing, guys. You know, if you're going to work with a deity, don't do it if you don't feel comfortable with it either. I know sometimes that the only way you can be comfortable with things is to try it. That's understandable, but I would say feel more comfortable with yourself and your craft and everything before you decide that you do fully want to move forward. Do all your research, find out all you can about this entity that you're wanting to work with, and make sure that it's a good idea. I guess I can say that one of the things that scared me off a little bit was that this person that I used to watch on YouTube for witchcraft stuff, her name was Pretty Boss. I really liked her channel, but I don't really watch it anymore because she shifted from being all about this kind of belief into being all about God. And you know, it's still not something for me that I feels right for me and my religion and stuff. And it's fine if she shifted her views and she's on a different path now. I have nothing against that. But some of the things that she mentioned was that she noticed some, you know, negative things happening in some of the tarot she was doing, and something about some kind of deity she was working with. She smelled like sulfur in her house, like there was a almost like demon kind of energy from this person, that this deity that she was working with, basically, that always wanted something in return, and it seemed to almost cause havoc more in her life. Like, she was basically describing it that it would help her manifest things, but it wouldn't be long term. And then as soon as she had the good things from it, not long after that, things would start falling apart. And you know, that kind of freaked me out a little bit, to be honest. And that's possibly part of the reason why I've been like, well, I really want to be careful about the energies that I'm inviting into my space then, because I don't want, you know, something destroying my life when it seems like it's helping me, you know. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Just do your own research, you know, figure out what you want to do. It's all up to you on whether you want to work with deities. I just, you know, make sure that they are going to come from a place of kindness and not something that's going to cause havoc in your life. And if you don't feel safe with it, you don't feel comfortable with it, then it's just best probably to not work with that certain deity or whatever. Work with whatever you feel comfortable with. If all you feel comfortable with working with is the universe, then that's completely fine. You don't have to work with any specific deities, so don't feel like you're any less of a witch or anything else because you have decided against that. You know, using your own power and your universal power, strengthening that, is good enough in its own. If you really feel like you want a deity to work with, then cool, that's up to you. Just again, do your research, find out what you can, and make sure that you feel comfortable doing it. That's pretty much all that I have to say on that subject. So if you'd want to tune out now, then go ahead and click off the channel. The next thing that I wanted to just touch base on a little bit is where my life is right now. So, you guys have heard about my journey so far with me trying to find a job and a career and things that I'm more comfortable in doing. I am doing some crystal healing classes, so I am working on becoming a certified crystal healer, which I'm excited about. But as you guys also have known, I have struggled with anxiety and depression, and some of those things are better and worse on certain days. You know, some days I'm doing better, some days I'm not doing so hot. Honestly, with my feelings, a lot of the time I procrastinate a lot. Things don't get done. So nothing that I do is fast. And right now I'm currently looking into, slowly, sloth-like, trying to find some therapy options. Thing is, I don't have health insurance, and the job path and things that I've been on lately, I don't really have benefits. I don't really get paid a whole lot, so it's kind of hard for me to figure that out. But that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find some options on what I can actually do to get some mental help, so that maybe I can get past some of these blockages and stop being a procrastinator and start getting things done and stop feeling down sometimes. It's still a progress for me to be positive sometimes, and most days I feel pretty good, but there's some days where I just feel bad. What's happening in my life right now is that I did get a job back with my independent contracting job of working whenever I wanted to work. However, there's been some personal events and everything that have gotten in the way of that, and just like the last time that I tried to do it, I've been feeling like I just don't have enough time to try and figure out my self-discipline, because we need money, and so it's not really gonna work for me to do, you know, that kind of job. Plus it doesn't pay very much. So with me working not as much as I need to probably be working with that job, and not really liking the job itself of being on the phones all day, I take the option for the freedom a lot more than I should. And I realize, you know, it's like, the freedom's great, but if I can't tolerate the job for long enough to do it, and always take the freedom, then I'm not having the purpose of a job served of making money. So I am pretty much moving on from that, I guess. And I think I actually maybe have an opportunity that came to me that I might hopefully really like. We'll have to see how it works out. There's been part of the reason I've been depressed is because the last couple days I've been thinking, man, it just seems like ever since I separated from my job, doing a call center job for all those years, and me trying to find something better for myself, there's been a lot of failures. And I feel like this next job is just going to be a failure too, that they're going to expect me to do more than I expect to do. It's not going to be what I hoped. They're going to overwork me. I'm going to be working on weekends. I'm going to be working long hours. I'm going to be doing this, that, and crazy. It's just going to be overwhelming. Things are going to be dropped on me. I don't like that. You know, it's going to trigger my anxiety and just I'm going to freak out. But I just started this new job today. I just did the training, so I don't know how any of it's going to work out. But however, this job is for doing a property inspection position. It's still on a W-2, so I'm going to be still, you know, not an independent contractor technically, but I'm still going to be setting my own hours and my own schedule and setting appointments on my own time and everything, which is nice. So I don't have to worry about the independent tax forms and all that other stuff while still being able to have some freedom and flexibility to my schedule. Starting out with only like 10 to 20 hours just to test it out, see what it's like, see if I like it, see if it's what I'm looking for. If it is, then great, I'll up my time for it. But this is one of the things, guys, is that sometimes I had that negative thinking about, you know, all these things have been failures, but when I really think about it, it's like, yeah, maybe some jobs I tried didn't work out. Maybe they ended kind of badly. But there's also been some successes in there. Like, first of all, I got, you know, the Google job, and that was a really great and fun job too. And yeah, I was working longer days, but I still kind of got to, you know, control my own schedule with that a bit too. It was a great job. I liked driving. It was just sometimes a bit too much driving. And that's why I kind of think that this new job will be better, because it's going to be a lot of driving, but I'm going to be also, you know, getting to be out in the field doing some other things too, at least temporarily, to get out of the vehicle and do some measurements and things like that. So that sounds, you know, great to me. And the other, you know, thing that I did accomplish was having the independent job, having the freedom and the flexibility. So it's kind of like the universe is just now giving me possibly this opportunity to give me both of the freedom and flexibility while still having a little bit of structure to my life. So it's not so hard for me to do, and make my days not seem quite so long, because I'm not just on the phones. I'm going to be driving. I'm going to be doing things. And that's ultimately, you know, what I'm looking for, is something that I don't mind doing for the job itself and that makes the day go by a decent pace, and something that also still gave me the freedom and the flexibility. So I'm really kind of excited about it, and I hope it's going to work out. I'm trying to be grateful, you know, that the universe has given me this opportunity. It's just I still have that inkling in the back of my mind going, yeah, we'll wait. Just wait and see. It's possible it's going to be great. It's possible it's going to be awful. So just prepare yourself for in case it's not. So hopefully there'll be an update on that. As far as the crystal healing goes, hopefully I can make that a business of my own, you know, someday or something. But you know, yeah, that's currently what's going on in my life right now. Things are getting better, it seems, again. So, you know, I'm pretty good, pretty happy right now. I hope it stays that way. I hope I don't have another disappointment from this job, because that'll really make me upset again. But you know, what can we do but keep trying and, you know, accept our failures and just get up and try again, because eventually you'll find success, right? So that's what's going on in my life, guys. Not a whole lot of difference, just still trying to find my way and my path and what I'm happy doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye!